Happening, Sony fans? I'm here to talk to you all about a troubleshooting problem that my PlayStation 4 is having, and I believe that it is the freezing problem in which you may be doing some type of application on the PlayStation system, and it may cause the system to freeze or whatever, whatnot. I wasn't playing a video game, but I was actually watching a movie. I was watching The Amazing Spider-Man, and when I was watching it the first time, it froze on me. And I figured at first I said maybe I probably might have pressed the pause button, but that wasn't the case. It had just froze up on me. So when I tried to click the control to come back on, it did not do it, which I'm sure it's going to do this time. So you'll see that the light is flashing, and it won't connect to the system at all, and it'll just go out. I'm sure it will. So I said, well, maybe the controller's dead. So let me try connecting the controller using the USB cable. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can do this like with one hand though. Okay, so I plugged in the USB cable, right? And it's showing that it's charged. But for some reason, if I press the pause button, it won't play the movie. So it's showing that it is connected, and I even pressed the PlayStation button to connect to the system. But when I do this, it's not connecting at all. And please ignore the pink sheets. These are for my sister when she was sleeping over. So if you look, you'll see that I'm pressing the circle button to play the movie, and it's not playing at all. So it seems that the system itself is froze. And just so that you guys can see like the way that I have my entertainment system set up, I do have it open so that it can breathe through, unless I had to put my TV stand somewhere else. But it's not really that loud. You can try listening for yourself. And as you can see, it's just not letting me do what I need to do. Now, let's say that this controller was possibly, just a little funny. I have an extra controller just to make sure. And when I press the PlayStation button on this controller, you see that it's not going to come on either. So neither one of these are working. It's showing that it's charging. The controller's charging, but for some reason it's not connecting to the system. Showing that it's charging. But when I try to press play or try to exit out of the movie, it's not letting me do any of that. So at first I said maybe it's just a movie, but the disc is clean. There's nothing on the disc at all, which should make it freeze up that way. So I'm gonna press the circle button one more time. Try holding down the PlayStation button and see what goes on, and nothing's gonna happen at all. So what I might do now is that I might have to turn off the system by its regular power and hold the button down and see what goes on. So we're going to try just to turn it on again by using the controller plugged into the USB connected to the PlayStation 4 and see what goes on. And it was able to turn on that way. So I don't know if you just heard that noise. And it's showing that it needs to be, I guess, yeah, you guys see that pretty much for yourselves. So I don't have to read everything to you guys. Hope my phone doesn't go dead. Let me see. And you see, System turns. It sounds like it stopped running. I'm sure it's going to run back up again. And my PlayStation did come back up. And it tells me that it was turned off, that it was not turned off properly. And it's the only option I had to turn it off. So I'm going to try connecting my controller again. And I believe it shows it's connected. So I'm going to press OK. And I mean, log in. I'm sure if I press, let me see, eject the disk, said perhaps it was probably the disk, but it hasn't given me this problem all day. And so that just so that you guys can see, this is what the disk looks like. And as you can see, it's pretty clear. There's nothing wrong with it at all. No spots, no nothing. Clean. So if anybody has any solutions or answers to this problem, I'll be more than interested in hearing. So you hear the system now for yourselves, and you'll see that. Let me turn down my volume all the way. You can barely hear the thing even running. Now let's try putting in Call of Duty and see what happens.